Our special coverage continues on a day when hundreds upon hundreds are paying their tribute and their respects to India's top general, General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, who were both in the Mi-17 V5 chopper that crashed in the Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu. A whole host of dignitaries also paying tribute to the general this morning. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi were among those who paid their respects to General Rawat and his wife Madhulika Rawat at their 3 Kamraj Marg residence in the national capital. Political leaders like Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, Congress leaders Mallikarjun Kharge and Harish Rawat, BJP Chief JP Nadda, Union Ministers Ravi Shankar Prasad and Smriti Irani, DMK's A. Raja and Kanimori among those who have paid their tributes today. Currently, members of the armed forces paying their tribute. There was a designated time during the proceedings today that was reserved for those in the armed forces to specially pay the tribute to their top general. Now, the bodies of General Rawat and his wife Madhulika Rawat are scheduled to leave for the crematorium in just about an hour or so from now. There, the general would be given a funeral with full military honours. The bodies of General Rawat, his wife and the defence personnel who were killed in that clash were flown in from Sulur near Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu last night. On their arrival at the Palam Air Base in Delhi, Prime Minister Modi, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and top officials of the Defence Services paying their tributes as well. There you can see Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also paying her tribute. What you see on the left of your screens is Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who was among those who paid tribute to Brigadier Lidder today at his funeral. He was accompanied by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Haryana Chief Minister M.L. Khattar, who all laid wreaths on and paid tribute to Brigadier Lidder. The only other person to have been positively identified besides General Rawat and his wife, those visuals from the Brar Square in Delhi cantonment. Brigadier Lidder has already been cremated with military honours. The funeral of Brigadier Lakwinder Singh Lidder, Defence Assistant to General Rawat. My colleague Akshay joins us live from General Rawat's residence right now, where a stream of people, ordinary citizens, dignitaries, those from the armed forces have all been paying their tributes one by one from the morning onwards. Akshay, you've been speaking to some of the people there. What have they been saying? Many of them remembering General Rawat in, well, Farm Leader Rakesh Tikait on our screens there also paying tribute. Remember, even after the farmers' protests were formally called off, farmers said that they would celebrate only after the funeral of General Rawat and others was over as a mark of respect. Farm leaders now also paying their tribute to General Bipin Rawat. Let me go back to Akshay if I can. Akshay, you've been speaking to people there, some sharing their memories of General Rawat, others who didn't know him, also feeling the need to come forward today to pay their tribute and pay their last respects.
Well, there are many people who have come here, Ankita, to pay their last respect to General Bipin Rawat. First of all, before I speak to these people who are here from different parts of the country, I would like to show what exactly are the scenes here outside the residence of General Bipin Rawat at K. Kamraj Marg. So, as far as the protocols are concerned, there are approximately 800 service personnel who are in attendance for the military funeral of the Chief of Defence Staff. There are 12 officers from Army, Navy and Air Force of the rank of brigadier and equivalent that are on vigil duty to maintain continuous vigil over the mortal remains while it is laid in the state. There are 6 officers of the rank of lieutenant general and equivalent who will be the national flag bearers, and wreath are being laid by visiting dignitaries right now. Remains laid in state, and they also will be there at the Barar Square too. And as far as the front and back escorts are concerned, there will be 99 personnel from Army, Navy and Air Force, 33 members of the that will be forming the front escort, and similarly 99 of all these 3 ranks that will be forming the rear escort. So I'll speak to the here who have come from different parts of the country, and we'll try to talk about what exactly has drove them here and their memories of General Bipin Rawat. Sir, आप लोग कहाँ से आए?
हम लोग उत्तराखंड से आए हैं। एक हमारी फाउंडेशन है, संकल्प द राइजिंग उत्तराखंड फाउंडेशन, वहाँ से हम लोग आए हैं। और क्योंकि जो भी हुआ है राष्ट्र के लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति हुई है, और हमारे साथ तो उनकी अटैचमेंट थी, और उन्होंने वहाँ पे आके शिफ्ट भी होना था आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट, ये बात हुई थी। तो बहुत दुख का विषय है, और सब लोग आहत हुए हैं, पूरा देश इस चीज़ से बहुत आहत हुआ है, और ये जो क्षति हुई है ये बहुत असामान्य है। असामान्य।
सर, उत्तराखंड से ही थे जनरल बिपिन
रावत जी पौड़ी से थे, और उनकी एजुकेशन जो है वो कुछ यहाँ से शिमला से हुई थी, और जो उन्होंने पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन की थी वो चौधरी चरण सिंह यूनिवर्सिटी थे, और उनका काफ़ी समय हमारा अटैचमेंट भी था। मैं तो उनसे पर्सनली भी मिला हुआ था।
एक इंस्पिरेशन थे युवाओं के लिए।
जी 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 बहुत। और उन्होंने एक वहाँ पर भी बच्चों के लिए एक स्कूल भी खोलना था, डे बोर्डिंग स्कूल के लिए उनका आगे प्लानिंग थी। बहुत कुछ उत्तराखंड के लिए करना चाहते थे, और उत्तराखंड की हमारी शान थे, और बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ है, बड़ा दुख हुआ है, इसलिए हम वहाँ से स्पेशल इसलिए आए।
स्पेशल आए हैं आप?
जी जी जी, वहाँ से कल शाम को चले थे। जी जी।
तो आप लोग यहाँ पर है, आप स्टूडेंट?
यस, मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ, अहमदाबाद से हूँ। और जनरल बिपिन रावत उत्तराखंड के एक छोटे से गांव सेंज गांव से, और युवाओं के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंस्पिरेशन है। उन्होंने एक बार कहा था कि आदमी को कोई सी संकट की घड़ी में एक रास्ता खोजना आना चाहिए, और उनसे हमें ये सीख मिलती है कि व्हाट आस्क नॉट व्हाट कैन यू डू फॉर योर कंट्री, आस्क व्हाट यू कैन डू फॉर
द कंट्री कैन डू फॉर यू, बट टेल व्हाट यू कैन डू फॉर योर कंट्री। आप कहाँ से?
आई एम फ्रॉम दिल्ली। यस।
यहाँ पर आए हैं आप यूथ के लिए आइकन थे?
हाँ जी, आइकन तो थे, इंडिया से फाइनेस्ट ऑफिसर इंडिया डेट एवर हैव। उन्होंने काफ़ी बार हमें प्राउड फील कराया है। आई एम ऑल्सो प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी सीडीएस। जब मैंने ये सारी खबर सुनी तो आई फील दैट्स व्हाई आई केम हियर टू सी दिस। बट अभी अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमें अभी एंट्री नहीं दी है, कुछ सर्कमटेंसेस हैं, प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं। लेट्स होप कि एंट्री मिल जाए।
तो प्रोटोकॉल की वजह से एंट्री तो भले ही नहीं हो पाई, लेकिन जब यहाँ से अंतिम यात्रा निकलेगी उसका इंतजार कर रहे हैं।
यस सर, डेफिनेटली आई वांट टू सी हर, आई वांट टू सी हर। Yes, sir.
So, Ankita, we have spoken to these people. Some have come from Gujarat, some have come from Uttarakhand, the home state of General Bipin Rawat. The security has already been tightened here outside the residence of General Bipin Rawat. So there are multi-layers of security. The first layer is of Rapid Action Force that is present here. Then there is Delhi Police, and after Delhi Police there is the military police that is standing guard at the residence of General Bipin Rawat. All of these people who even did not get a chance to enter the residence and pay their final respect, pay their homage to General Bipin Rawat, but they are waiting here for 1:30 p.m. when the final journey of General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat will begin from here at K. Kamraj Marg at his residence.
Right, Akshay, do stay with us. We will try and come back to you in just a moment. Akshay, telling us a little more about the kind of security detail that's outside the 3 Kamraj Marg residence of General Rawat right now. Rapid Action Force, military police, the Delhi police there as well. Many of the people who had come to pay their last respects to General Rawat have not actually been able to enter and do so, simply because the numbers have been so very high, and there has also been VIP movement as well. But also the last rites of Brigadier Lider took place at the Brar Square crematorium in Delhi cantonment. That's where General Rawat's last rites will also take place at 4 p.m. today. Brigadier Lakhvinder Singh Lider, a decorated soldier, worked extensively on tri-services reforms as the defence assistant to the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat. The second-generation army officer, Brigadier Lider, was set to be promoted as Major General soon. He was preparing for his next posting after serving as a key member in General Rawat's team for more than a year. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh was among those who laid wreaths to pay tribute to Brigadier Lider, who served extensively in counter-terror operations in Jammu and Kashmir and commanded a brigade along India's borders with China. On the right of your screens there, you see Mrs. Lider accepting the national tricolour as Brigadier Lider was given a funeral with full military honours.
कुछ बातें याद आती हैं जब आज वो देश के लिए
He was larger than life, everybody knows that. मतलब आप देख ही रहे हैं कितने लोग फेवल में आए. बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा पर्सोना था उनका, बहुत दोस्त थे, बहुत प्यार बांटते थे. So probably that is why people are also mourning my loss. But we must give him a good farewell, a smiling send-off. I'm a soldier's wife. I have nothing more to say.
उनके ऊपर जो तिरंगा लिपटाया गया था वो आज आपके हाथ में है. कितना गर्व महसूस कर रहे हैं आज देश के लिए वो
गर्व, the way we wanted him back, but if it was not to be, then I don't know. He was a very good father, very good father. My child will really miss him. So it's a big loss.
सब कुछ याद आता है. बट जैसे मेरी मम्मी ने बोला कि I'm going to be 17, तो 17 years वो जो हमारे साथ थे, जितनी यादें उनको साथ लेके ही चल रहे हैं और अच्छी यादें ही साथ लेके चलेंगे. I am happy he didn't have to suffer. It's a national loss. My father, मेरे पापा हीरो थे, मेरे बेस्ट फ्रेंड थे, और अभी बहुत लोग हैं तो इतना गम महसूस नहीं हो रहा. जब लोग नहीं भी होंगे इतना गम महसूस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो इतने खुशमिजाज इंसान थे और मे बी डेस्टिन्ड. सब में जोश भरते थे और सबसे बड़ी
हर फौजी के लिए ये एक चुनौती रहती है कि खतरा हमेशा सामने होता है, और लेकिन इस चुनौती का सामना करके देश सेवा करना यही एक फौजी का कर्तव्य है, धर्म है. यहाँ जितने भी लोग आए हुए हैं, चाहे फौजियों के परिवार हों या खुद फौजी हों, देश सेवा में हमेशा तत्पर रहना, हमेशा मुस्तैद रहना, यही हमारी सबकी जिम्मेदारी है. मुझे इस बात का फख्र है कि ब्रिगेडियर लीडर शुरू से राष्ट्रीय रक्षा अकादमी में जब हम 16 साल की उम्र में गए थे तब से लेकर अभी तक हम सबसे ब्राइटेस्ट फौजी ऑफिसर, और उन्होंने कश्मीर में अपनी सेवा दी, विदेश में अपनी सेवा दी, और भारत की सेना में मेजर जनरल की रैंक उनको मिल चुकी थी और उनका पूरा करियर आगे था.
Former Union Minister Rajavardhan Rathod there, someone who actually was at the National Defence Academy at the same time as Brigadier Lider and knew him well personally. But in as much as we remember General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, Brigadier Lider, there were others on that chopper crash that died. Lieutenant Colonel Harjinder Singh, who belonged to the 11 Gorkha Rifles, the same regiment as General Bipin Rawat, he had served in various operations with his battalion, including deployment on the Siachen Glacier, as well as a tenure in the United Nations peacekeeping mission. Wing Commander P.S. Chauhan from Agra, who was the youngest of the 5 siblings. All right, we don't seem to have those visuals with us right now, so we'll try and go to them in just a bit. But the Indian Air Force tweeting just a short while earlier saying that in fact the inquiry into the chopper crash is now underway. Let's have that tweet up on our screens. The Indian Air Force has constituted a tri-service court of inquiry to investigate the cause of the tragic helicopter accident on the 8th of December 2021. The inquiry will be completed expeditiously and facts brought out. Till then, to respect the dignity of the deceased, uninformed speculation may be avoided. Well, that's what the Indian Air Force has tweeted today as the nation mourns General Rawat and others who lost their lives in that tragic crash. Well, joining us right now, Commodore C. Uday Bhaskar, retired Director, Society for Policy Studies. We also have Brigadier V. Mahalingam, retired defense analyst as well. Commodore Bhaskar, let me begin with you. As these tributes continue to pour in for General Rawat and his wife, Brigadier Lidder's cremation taking place with full military honours as well. The Indian Air Force also talking about this Commission of Inquiry being constituted. Give us a sense of what the process is going to be as this probe begins.
As the Air Force tweet has already pointed out, Ankita, they have set up this tri-service group. That I think is significant given the scale of the tragedy and the circumstances under which it had happened. They are giving it the highest rigor, and expeditiously is the word that has been used to ensure that from the black box that has been retrieved and any other evidence that they may have been able to collect and reconstruct the entire sequence of events and come to a more informed assessment about what could have been the cause for this tragic crash of that helicopter. So I think that is the current focus and priority as far as the Air Force is concerned. And concurrently, of course, I think we are witnessing a national mourning with the departure of General Bipin Rawat, India's first Chief of Defence Staff. That is unprecedented. And there is, I think, a tragic irony here, because when General Rawat assumed office as India's first CDS, many protocols were being evolved, including a fair amount of ceremonial that goes with every office. And there was an attempt to ensure that India did the right thing by way of tradition and ceremonial in burnishing the office of the CDS, which, as we all know, is different from that of the Chief of the Army Staff. So the tragic irony, which I was reflecting upon since yesterday, is that there were so many firsts as far as General Bipin Rawat was concerned when he became the CDS in terms of protocols and ceremony. Little did any of us ever imagine that his funeral, this military funeral that is being accorded to him today, would also be a first. And many elements which we have seen on our television screens today, the manner in which they have deployed officers from Lieutenant General, that is 3-star, downwards, to ensure that the right protocol is maintained and the sanctity of a military funeral. As I said, this is the irony that in his departure, India is observing a funeral for a CDS who is a 4-star officer, a 4-star general, which is what General Rawat was. But he was at a perch that was different from that of being a service chief. And I think this is what we are observing with a lot of sadness, that this is not the kind of first we wanted to see.
Right.
But there is a certain catharsis, I think, at a national level. The way in which the ritual, the ceremony, and the scale at which it is being conducted. And also, I think, the anguishing vignettes we are seeing on television of family members. You have a soldier's wife trying very hard and with success to keep what she referred to as a smiling face in the face of such adversity. And a young 17-year-old daughter recalling her father. I think these are all, I would say, different strands in the ceremony, in the farewell, and the tinge of tragedy that marks today.
Yes, indeed. A chief of defense staff, a brigadier who was his right-hand man, but at the same time, these are fathers, these are family members, and indeed, you know, those are the scenes that really bring a lump to our throats at this point. But as you're pointing out, Commodore Uday Bhaskar, this is indeed unprecedented in the sense this is the first time he was India's first Chief of Defence Staff, and this is the first time a sitting Chief of Defence Staff is being accorded a funeral. Let me just run through some of the details we're getting at this point. A total of 12 officers from Army, Navy and Air Force of the rank of Brigadier and equivalent are on vigil duty right now to maintain continuous vigil over the mortal remains as it lies in state. 6 officers, 2 each from the Army, the Navy and the Air Force, 1 of the rank of Lieutenant General equivalent, will be the pallbearers and the national flag bearers. Wreaths are being laid, of course, by visiting dignitaries. The ceremonial battery of the 2233 Field Regiment is providing the gun carriage, we're told. 99 all ranks from the Army, Navy and Air Force and 33 members of the Tri-Services Band will be forming the front escort. And 99 all ranks from the 3 services will act as the rear escort, we're told. This is, of course, when the funeral cortege makes its way from 3 Kamraj Marg to Delhi cantonment to the crematorium. A total of 800 service personnel will be in attendance for the military funeral of the Chief of Defence Staff. He will be accorded a 17-gun salute as per laid down protocols post the playing of the last post, and roused by the Tri-Services buglers, the funeral pyre is going to be lit by family members. Brigadier Mahalingam, obviously a lot of ceremony involved over here, ceremony in accordance with the rank and stature of General Rawat. I believe we don't have Brigadier Mahalingam right now. So, Commodore Uday Bhaskar, let me come to you with that. And we're seeing a series of dignitaries, including many members of the government who've been paying their tribute to General Rawat since the morning.
Indeed, whenever we have had the loss of a dignitary, a national leader, there is this protocol by which they are allowed to come and pay their last respects. And I can recall, Ankita, when I look back, 1984 was very tragic when we had the assassination of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. But she was the Prime Minister, and that was, of course, a different time altogether. But we had a similar, I would say, protocol about people paying their tribute. But I also recall that we had General Bipin Joshi, Army Chief, who tragically died while in office. And in similar manner, that was also a different time. We did not have the kind of cyber density that we now have as far as the audiovisual medium is concerned. But yes, there are laid down procedures, protocols, and these are dealt with in the case of the Army by the Adjutant General's branch, and there is a whole directorate that looks after the ceremonial aspect. But today, I think in 2021, with the advent, the spread both of technology. I think we are now seeing a national outpouring, as was indicated by your reporter, that you had students from Ahmedabad, citizens of India from Uttarakhand, and I have seen a fair amount of commentary paying tribute on social media in different languages. And I think that is indicative of the current sentiment as far as the country is concerned in terms of how they perceive both the military as an institution and General Rawat himself as India's first Chief of Defence Staff. So I think these are the new kind of elements that one can perhaps observe when we look at mourning at a national level, as we are now witnessing in Delhi along Kamraj Road, the residence of General Bipin Rawat. Ankita?
Right. We will take a very quick break at this point. As we do, let's just play out those visuals of all the tributes that have been paid to General Bipin Rawat from early this morning. Dignitaries, politicians, people across the political spectrum today paying their last respects to the Chief of Defence Staff. A day of solemn remembrances as India pays homage to the brave hearts who died in the chopper crash in Tamil Nadu. For the families of those dead, moments of intense personal grief, but also an attempt to put a brave face forward. The last rites of Brigadier Leader took place this morning at the Brar Square Crematorium in Delhi Cantonment. That's where General Bipin Rawat and his wife Madhulika Rawat's last rites will take place at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Brigadier Leader was a decorated soldier who worked extensively on Tri-Services reform as defence assistant to the Chief of Defence Staff. Today, his wife spoke bravely, saying that she had to give him a smiling farewell. She was, in the end, a soldier's wife.
क्या कुछ बातें याद आती हैं जब आज वो देश के लिए
He was larger than life, everybody knows that. मतलब आप देख ही रहे हैं कितने लोग फेवल में आए हैं. बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा पर्सोना था उनका, बहुत दोस्त थे, बहुत प्यार बांटते थे. So probably that is why people are also mourning my loss. But we must give him a good farewell, a smiling send-off. I'm a soldier's wife. I have nothing more to say.
उनके ऊपर जब तिरंगा लटकाया गया था वो आज आपके हाथ में है, कितना गर्व महसूस कर रहे हैं आज देश के लिए? वो
गर्व, the way we wanted him back, but if it was not to be, then I don't know. He was a very good father, very good father. My child will really miss him, so it's a big loss.
सब कुछ याद आता है, बट जैसे मेरी मम्मी ने बोला कि I'm going to be 17, तो 17 years वो जो हमारे साथ थे, जितनी यादें उनको साथ लेके ही चल रहे हैं और अच्छी यादें ही साथ लेके चलेंगे. I am happy he didn't have to suffer. It's a national loss. My father, मेरे पापा हीरो थे, मेरे बेस्ट फ्रेंड थे, और अभी बहुत लोग हैं तो इतना गम महसूस नहीं हो रहा. जब लोग नहीं भी होंगे इतना गम महसूस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो इतने खुशमिजाज इंसान थे और मे बी इट्स डेस्टिन्ड. सब में जोश भरते थे और सबसे बड़े मोटिवेटर थे वो मेरे. और मुझे याद है जब मैं 5 साल की थी, मैंने पापा को देख के एक बार बोला कि आप मेरी हर बात मानते हो ना, क्योंकि वो मेरी हर बात मानते थे. एंड आई एम स्कैर्ड बिकॉज आई वाज वेरी पैम्पर्ड बाय माय फादर.
The 16-year-old daughter, who can comprehend the enormity of her loss at this point, but speaking with great composure there as she remembers her departed father. Well, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, several leaders of the opposition, several opposition leaders and others paying their tributes to General Bipin Rawat and his wife Madhulika Rawat from the morning onwards. Let's take a look at some of those visuals. President JP Nadda, the Congress's Rahul Gandhi, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Union Ministers Smriti Irani and Piyush Goyal, the Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge, among those who paid their respects today. All right, some activity now outside the residence of General Rawat. My colleague Akshay continues to be there. Akshay, it's now getting on well, it's almost 1:38 right now. So 2 p.m. is when the funeral procession is set to begin. What's happening there? You were telling us earlier about the very extensive security arrangements in place. What's happening right now?
Well, Ankita, some more civil dignitaries have reached the residence of General Bipin Rawat. Some leaders from different political parties have reached. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also reached the residence of General Bipin Rawat, and he's inside paying homage and his last respect to the first CDS of our country. Many people are waiting for the final journey to begin, many of them holding flowers in their hands. They all are waiting for that one glimpse of the last journey of General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat. Expect the journey to begin of General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat from here. So you can see already decorated trucks have been parked outside the residence of General Bipin Rawat. Gun carriage has been provided by 2233 Field Regiment, and on that howitzer gun which has been decorated, there will be the casket of General Bipin Rawat. His mortal remains will be there on that particular casket. So you can see these trucks will be part of the convoy. As you have been telling our viewers as well, extensive arrangements have been done as far as the security arrangements are concerned. You can see this Rapid Action Force, after which is another layer of Delhi police, followed by a layer of military police that is guarding the residence of General Bipin Rawat. There will be 99 service personnel from each wing of the Army, Air Force and Navy who will be forming the front of the convoy of General Bipin Rawat, and there will be 33 band members of trial services who will also form the front of the convoy, and the rear convoy will be followed by similar 99 personnel from Army, Air Force and the Navy. You can see senior defense personnel are reaching the residence. Just a few moments back, B.R. Chaudhary reached the residence of General Bipin Rawat. Chief Marshal B.R. Chaudhary has also reached the residence of General Bipin Rawat, and we can expect more senior defense personnel, defense officials to reach here at the residence of General Bipin Rawat and follow the convoy that will start in a short while from now. So the timing that was given earlier was 2 p.m. When the convoy will start from here to Barar Square. Also, the Air Force has said that to ensure that there is not a lot of crowding and a smooth passage of the convoy, people should not throng the streets from where the convoy is supposed to go in large numbers, so that they can ensure smooth passage of this particular convoy. In the end, I would again like to show you the vehicle that has been decorated with flowers, and that is the vehicle which also has that particular howitzer gun that has been supplied by 2233 Field Regiment, on which the casket will be placed for people to pay their last respect to. This is part of the Air Force personnel that will be part of the convoy, and all of these officials will be travelling with the mortal remains of General Bipin Rawat till Barar Square.
Right, Akshay, are we getting a sense that things are going to follow the exact time schedule that has been laid out, which means that that final journey expected to begin in just about 18 minutes or so from now?
Well, yes, exactly. And one thing that the defense forces are known for is the accurate timing, and that is what we are expecting that to be followed. And the last journey is expected to begin at around 2 p.m. And it will go to Barar Square, and the cremation is slated to take place at 4 p.m. So that is the plan. As we were talking about these personnel who will be following, who will be part of the convoy. This is the part of the Air Force personnel who will be part of the convoy. On my left hand side is the truck carrying the Navy personnel who also will be part of that particular convoy, along with the tri-service band and the army personnel who also are sure. So it will be a grand affair. It will be in a way all the three services, all the three wings of defense services paying their respect to the Chief of Defense Staff, in fact the first Chief of Defense Staff of our country, Ankita.
Akshay, thanks very much for getting us the latest details and indeed those visuals from outside General Bipin Rawat's residence. We'll of course continue to be on those live visuals. In the meantime, the Indian Air Force tweeting a short while earlier, and if we can get that tweet up on our screens, the Indian Air Force has constituted a tri-service court of inquiry to investigate the cause of the tragic helicopter accident on the 8th of December. The inquiry will be completed expeditiously and facts brought out, says that statement. Till then, respect the dignity of the deceased. Uninformed speculation may be avoided, says that tweet. Well, we're joined now by Wing Commander Anuma Acharya, retired, and Air Commodore Sood, also retired. Wing Commander Anuma Acharya, if I can begin with you, the fact that this inquiry, the Tri-Service Court of Inquiry has now been constituted. What happens next? Just give us a sense. I mean, obviously, we do not want to speculate on what went wrong at this stage. But, you know, give us a sense of the process of what's likely to happen. And it says it will all happen very expeditiously, but what sort of timelines are we looking at? Commodore Shailendra Sood is also with us. If you would like to answer that, I believe we've lost the connection with Anuma Acharya right now.
Okay. The court inquiry, as you know, has been instituted. It's been headed by a senior Air Marshal Manvendra Singh. It's a tri-service court inquiry, as has been brought out by you. The court of inquiry will now commence its task by visiting the site to begin with, and will take all inputs that are made available, whether on media or otherwise. All witnesses' statements would be taken. It will be an unbiased commencement of the inquiry. It means you will have no biases towards whatever has been speculated on media for the last 2 days. It will be absolutely starting off with a neutral phase. And you already are aware that the CVR and the FDR boxes have been recovered. They will document that. It's a tedious job because it has to be done almost for every second. Data would be processed and documented. So it's going to take maybe 2 weeks' time at the earliest, and maximum, I think, in a month's time, maximum, in case something complication gets into the way. Yes, but definitely in a month's time, it'll be out, and I take it it'll be much before that. It could be maximum of 10 to 14 days.
So obviously no corners will be cut, but this is being done post haste in a sense. Wing Commander Anuma Acharya, if you're back with us, you know, your thoughts on this Commission of Inquiry, the Tri-Services Court of Inquiry, pardon me, that's been constituted, and what its brief is going to be.
Ankita, I want to assure you that this inquiry always brings out the accurate results. If you remember that case wherein an Air Force plane was shot by us only erroneously, in which they couldn't decipher a friend or foe, but Indian Air Force did not hesitate in bringing out that fact too, and the people who were responsible were punished accordingly. So be rest assured, whatever it is, it will be brought out by the inquiry, the presiding officer, the other specialist officers. I have a full trust on our court of inquiries, wherein the court sits every day. There is no holidays in between, and it's a consistent process of search and analysis and knowing the facts. So be rest assured, this inquiry will be most expeditious, as Air Commodore already has conveyed, and at the same time, it will be most reliable as well.
Air Commodore Sood, as we remember, General Bipin Rawat, as all these tributes now pour in for India's first Chief of Defence Staff, let's speak a little bit about the task that he was entrusted with, the task of modernising and synergizing the armed forces. No mean task there, and something that obviously brought him brickbats as it did bouquets. Your thoughts on where he leaves that process, and what it's going to be in terms of whoever now tries to fill those considerable shoes.
Yeah, he was doing a human service. He's done a human service to the nation. It can be gauged by the fact that number of people who are visiting for his farewell journey that is likely to commence very soon, irrespective of caste, creed, to the extent that politicians from each party has also come to bid farewell to him, pay his last homage, respects to him. It speaks volumes of the personality that he was. He was trying to modernize the three services, get into the jointness of the three services. There are issues. It's not that it was so simple. If it was so simple, it would have been finished by now. So there are issues. He was trying to handle it. He had given timelines, set his timelines for himself. He had already jotted down what he's going to do in 2020, 21 and 22. So he was a man who's planned things way ahead, and it will be difficult for anyone to wear this hat of the CDS and fulfill the leftover jobs that he was to do.
Wing Commander Hanumacharya, give us a sense of, the details of this massive task that General Rawat had taken on of this synergization. What sort of things are we looking at? What is it that he handled initially? What would you say has been his big legacy?
He was mainly working on integrated theatre command, which as a requirement has emerged during the Kargil, after the Kargil analysis report. And in that process, I am not too sure of commenting on a particular aspect, but to my understanding, we needed a person who is a bridge between the three services, the tri-services, and the Prime Minister or perhaps the Defence Minister, who can directly approach on behalf of the three services. To me, it's a kind of role which our adjutant does. When our commanding officer has to see something, the adjutant is the via media through which we reach up to the commanding officer. So that is how a structure should have been. General Rawat was assigned, he became the Chief of Defence Staff. There were certain issues related to integration of Indian Air Force. Sometimes once we have heard his statement wherein he called Indian Air Force as a support command, support service, which was kind of not taken very well with the Air Force. But since Air Force is a team of professionals, the other aspect was integration of all the three services, at the same time distribution of assets. So therefore, in whatever theatre commands would have formed up, Air Force assets and naval assets would have distributed among them. So these issues were to be resolved, and this is what was going on. He had 3 years in hand 2 years had already passed. He was playing the major role. Actually, he was steering this ahead, the project. And I hope, because as we say, the show must go on, the show will go on. But we have, in the bargain, we have lost a very key person of our armed forces, the first CDS. And since I have met him, I am taking it as a personal loss because he was such a wonderful human being.
Right. Air Commodore Sood, as Wing Commander Annuma points out, this was someone who in a way liaised between the armed forces and the top political establishment, someone who could very easily reach out to the defense minister, to the prime minister, and obviously had a very personal equation with them as well. That would be apparent from the way the prime minister himself was there at the airport when the mortal remains were brought to Delhi yesterday. The fact that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh attended the cremation of Brigadier Lidder this morning. All of these speak volumes as to the closeness between the Chief of Defence Staff, his team, and the political establishment.
Absolutely, it does. Like I mentioned, that you see the number of common people who've come to pay their last homage and respect to him. Opposition, ruling party, forget about the armed forces per se. Look at the politicians also turning up. Though while he was doing his job, there were obviously some people against whatever he was doing. Some people were for. It's bound to happen to anyone and everyone. You can't keep 100% of the people satisfied with whatever job that you're doing. Professionally, yes, people will have difference of opinion, but look at it. But the number of people, I don't think so. Even so many political figures have turned up, even in few of the prime ministers' funerals. I'm talking the politicians per se. So look at it. So that's a kind of person, and it speaks volumes, like you said. It speaks volume of what he was doing.
Wing Commander Annuma Acharya and Air Commodore Sood, thanks very much for being with us as our continuing focus really stays on this very big story. We will take a very quick break. Lots more with my colleague Vishnu Shom when we come back in just a moment.